As you begin to notice the way words shape reality, you might already find yourself aware, or maybe just becoming aware, that the way you sound, the way you hold a belief, it's the difference that makes the difference. Because you've seen it, haven't you? That person who speaks with absolute certainty, and others believe them, not because of the facts, but because of the way they deliver them. Because it's fascinating, isn't it? How the rhythm, the tone, the certainty behind the words, it becomes more compelling than the words themselves. Because the mind, your mind, it already knows confidence creates truth in the world of influence. And you can begin to feel that now, can't you? That subtle shift, where belief becomes reality. And perhaps you might even recall a time when someone spoke with such sincerity, such conviction, that you found yourself drawn in, not questioning but accepting, because sincerity, certainty, these are the invisible forces that shape perception. And now, as you notice this truth settling in deeper, the idea begins to grow, doesn't it? That what you say, with certainty, with belief, takes on a power greater than the facts alone. And isn't it interesting how a person who doubts, who hesitates, loses the power of their words, even if they're right? And yet, someone who speaks with unwavering confidence, with that deep inner knowing, bends reality itself, because belief is the foundation upon which all truth is built. And as you begin to realize, or maybe you already knew, that sincerity, security and certainty in your voice, in your words, in your presence, is what makes others lean in, listen, follow. You can begin to integrate this into who you are. And isn't it exciting, knowing the way you sound, the way you believe, it's more important than anything else, because now you see it, don't you? The power has always been in the belief. And as you step into that power, you might just notice how everything changes. And as you listen, or don't listen, as you notice the space between the words, or the feeling beneath them, you might begin to realize, or maybe you've always known, the power of words is not in their meaning, but in their energy, the certainty, the force that carries them. Because what if right now, in this very moment, something inside you is shifting? You don't have to try to understand, because it's already happening. Like the way a melody sticks in the mind, long after the music stops. The rhythm of belief, the sound of conviction, it becomes something that lingers, something that resonates, something that transforms. And as that thought drifts deeper, or perhaps it's already settled, you might start to wonder, what if everything you ever believed about truth, about persuasion, about influence, was simply waiting to be upgraded? Because you've seen it, haven't you? That moment when someone steps into a room, says something, anything, with absolute certainty, and the room bends around them, not because of what they said, but because of how they said it. And now a question arises, a powerful question, a question that once asked changes everything. What would happen if you allowed yourself to believe so fully, so completely, the reality itself had no choice to conform? Because belief, it's a force of nature. It shapes perception. It sculpts possibility. It bends what is into what must be. And as that understanding takes root, spreading through every thought, every word, every action, something clicks, doesn't it? That deep knowing, that certainty, that truth. That the way you say something, the way you embody it, it's more real, more powerful, more undeniable than whether it's true or not. Because truth is fluid. And those who shape truth, those who command it, they're the ones who believe without hesitation, without apology, without doubt. And maybe now, or maybe later, you'll begin to feel that belief taking hold, like a switch flipping, like a code rewriting, because when you own your words, when you own your reality, the world follows. It always has. And so do you. And as these words flow, as the space between them stretches and contracts. You can feel it happening, can't you? That shift, that realization, that knowing, emerging from somewhere deeper than thought. Because thought is slow. Thought questions, hesitates, doubts. But knowing just is. And you've always known, even before you knew, that the way something is said, the belief behind it, is what makes it real. Because reality is liquid. It molds itself around certainty. And certainty is something you feel now. Or maybe you already felt it before you even noticed. And isn't it fascinating how some people, they step into a space, say anything, and the air bends to hold them. Eyes lock onto them. Ears tune into them because they radiate something unshakable. And others, who maybe even know more, they have more proof, have all the facts. They fade, they hesitate. Their words slip through the cracks of disbelief. So the question is not whether something's true, but how deeply, how completely, how unshakably you can believe it. Because belief is what creates reality. And the stronger the belief, the more undeniable the truth becomes. And you know this because you've felt it before. The moment you decide something, and the world rearranges to match it. The time you spoke with absolute conviction, and others nodded, agreed, followed, because they felt the weight of your certainty. And now, as these ideas weave together, as the patterns click into place, you can begin to feel that shift happening inside you. The one that was always waiting, always ready to awaken, because what if right now something inside you was unlocking? A deeper voice, a stronger presence, a certainty that no longer needs permission, because when you believe something fully, when you step into it completely, the world has no choice but to follow. And that's what's happening now, right now, because now you know, and now you own it.